So the question he's asking is, there is the ability, and sometimes people who are not on the up and up will do what we call fatal subtraction, meaning that they'll create a situation where you are doing the work and you have a profit participation, but there are no profits because they give themselves raises, they hire their family, they pay their car out of it, and ultimately just continue to find expenses that benefit them, but don't really result in a profit. So the question he's asking is, there is the ability, and sometimes people who are not on the up and up will do what we call fatal subtraction, meaning that they'll create a situation where you are doing the work and you have a profit participation, but there are no profits because they give themselves raises, they hire their family, they pay their car out of it, and ultimately just continue to find expenses that benefit them, but don't really result in a profit. So the way that we generally have that addressed is that whatever the distributable profit is, whatever profit is being distributed to them is what we're participating in. So if they were to distribute the profit in form, in kind, let's say, in the form of they bought a car for themselves or something like that, that wasn't a normal expense of the business, you would have recourse to go and argue that they are abusing the company for their benefit. They're effectively taking a profit distribution without actually calling it that. I'm generally comfortable in most situations having that recourse available to me, as opposed to clearly defining profits equal what the profits are right now, but no profits to third parties that are related directly or indirectly to the seller. No raises shall be allowed without without unanimous consent of everybody, et cetera, et cetera. Because I feel like if I have to be worried about that, I probably shouldn't go into business with the people. So that's a personal thing, Menon, that I've kind of come up with over time. If, however, your spidey sense is telling you that that is something that you should be concerned about, or if you just want to dot all the I's and cross all the T's, then you can certainly include that language in there. And I have that language in the portal so that you can do it. We do provide it. It's just, if I've got spidey sense, I had a call earlier today with somebody, and Deanna and I were talking, and it was like, there's a little bit of funny feeling. So that's somebody I'd rather just not do the deal with than get in and potentially have challenges. Because even if you've got that provision, it can still be contentious, and you still have to go through the same process basically that you would have to go through it, if you didn't have it. It's just that you would have clear language that could be looked at more objectively than just, hey, come on, they bought themselves, 2 Ferraris. The business doesn't use Ferraris. The business doesn't need cars at all. That's a distribution of profits. I think you're going to win on that, but you'd still have to go through a legal process to do it, even if you had the language. Does that make sense? It's like, so the lawyer,
absolutely.
I will tell you that the guy that graduated law school 1,000 years ago and practiced law for his first 5 years version of me would be like, yeah, that's going to be in there. But the guy that's done a whole bunch of deals and been around for a long time is going to say, man, if people are going to cheat you, if they want to cheat you, they'll find a million ways to do it. I've seen it over and over. If I'm concerned about it, I don't want to do the deal. And if I'm not concerned about it and it happens, then I feel confident that I have the ability. Because again, even if that was happening, I might just make the decision, you know what, this just isn't working out. You take your, pay me this, take your business and go home. Right.
Yeah. So I'm with the second Roland, not the first one. I'm much more of a but here is the thing, Roland. Like, when human beings are not being watched, they justify, even the most honest people, right? They will justify something to them. So that's the reason I'm a little bit.
So watch them. Yeah, no doubt. Right. So watch them and have meetings with them, and then you can ask questions if you see something happening. But as long as you're involved, you should, and the person is a halfway decent, I don't think you're going to run into that challenge.
Got it.
But if
in this
you
case,
want it, I'm not telling you don't put it in there. If you want that in there, put it in there. I mean, if something hasn't been signed yet, say, oh crap, we forgot to include the profit clause. Then you can talk about it directly. And if it's an issue, it'll come up and be talked about.